Hi there, this is Penelope. This is a pre-recording of the live class that MG5004 will have on Wednesday, week 3 anyway. Can't think what the date is, but week 3 anyway. This is a pre-recorded video of what you'll do in that class. Okay, topic 3, class 1. This may have to be in 2 parts depending on how long it takes to make the video. Okay, solving equations, this is what we need to do in this topic. You know the thing, whatever is done to one side must be done to the other. This is the sort of thing where you can add to one side or subtract to the other side from the other side. You multiply or divide each side by the same number. You take powers of each side, whatever. Now, to find the solution, there's various things, and we'll look at all of those, but you need to remember what the solution means. So we've got a solution of, say, y equals something or other. What that means is the x value that makes y equal to 0. That's what it means by finding the solution, finding the x value that makes y 0. So that means if we've got something like this, that we've got our function y, this is the solution here. If we've got a parabola, these are the solutions. They're the ones that make y equal to 0. Okay, let's just go through some simple ones. Adding and subtracting the same thing to each side, multiplying, dividing by the same number. So for this one here, if we subtract 8 from each side, oops, today's the other way around, 5 minus 8, x equals -3. Next one is dividing both sides, so divide both sides by 3. The next one's a mix of both. We're going to add 8 to both sides. Then we're going to divide by 6. And you can simplify that, say 7/2 or 3.5, however you're asked for your answer. Next one, fractions are always a bit tricky, so let's be careful with that. 9 is really 9/1, so that's when we cross multiply, because what we're effectively doing is putting them over the same denominator. So p plus 3 times 1 equals 9 times 2, which is 18. So now we've got something to solve, taking away 3 from each side. So p is 15. Now you might want to check. Let's check. 15 plus 3/2 is 18/2, which equals 9. Yes, so we're good for that one. Always good idea to check your answers. More complicated ones, though. Get rid of your brackets first, always a good start. I'll change my colour back, sorry. 5x minus 5 plus 6x plus 27 minus 2 is equal to 12x minus 4 plus 8x plus 6. And if you rearrange that, you can simplify the left-hand side. So you've got 11x plus 20 is equal to 20x plus 2. And take away 2 from each side, so we've got 18 is equal to, take away 11x from each side, so that's 9x, then divide both sides by 9, so x equals 2. Make a point of checking. Now the next one is fractions, and they all need to be common denominator before we can solve them. So let's make our common denominator x minus 2, x minus 3, x plus 3. Not going to have much space. Right, I'll write the third fraction way over here. Okay, the first fraction, it was over x minus 2, so we've got to multiply the top and bottom by the other two, so x minus 3, x plus 3. The second fraction, we need to multiply 5 by x minus 2 and x minus 3. And the third one, we need to multiply 8 by this one and that one. Sorry, not that one, that one. So this is the one that's wrong. It should have been that one. Okay, now I'm just going to have to scrunch up that we get, if we multiply it all out and then we multiply top, we can disregard the bottom line at that stage. So we get 3x squared minus 27 minus 5x squared plus 5x minus 30 minus 8x squared plus 40x minus 48 equals 0. So a lot of that cancels out and you get rid of all your x squared terms, which is nice because we haven't done those yet. So we end up with 45x equals negative 105, and x is going to be negative 105 over 45. Sorry, I touched something then. And that equals negative 7 over 3, or however you want to write it, maybe negative 2 1/3. What we've just been looking at is linear equations, where we're solving one at a time. Now we're going to solve two linear equations at a time simultaneously. So nothing, we can't do anything right now, so what we have to do is multiply equation 1 by 4. Give it a name. Then we need to multiply equation 2 by 7. And you should be able to see what's going to happen. Give it a name, because now if we take equation 4 away from equation 3, we get nothing there, and we get 5y equals 15, so that y equals 3. Now I'm going to pop that back into equation 1. 7x minus 4 times 3 equals 23. So 7x equals 35, so x equals 5. So the solution is 5, 3. That's where those two lines meet, but you should check that your answer is indeed correct. But check in 2, check in the second equation, 4 times 5 minus 3 times 3 equals 11. And yes, big tick. Okay, now for these ones, again you're solving simultaneously, but you are having to do something first. So we need to simplify first. If we expand all the brackets for that one, we get that 11x plus y equals 38, and that's still 1, we haven't done anything to it. And 9x plus minus 7y equals negative 8. So all we've done there is simplify, haven't done anything. Okay, what do we do now? Well, if we multiply the first one by 7, give that a new name, and then rewrite 2 underneath. Then if we add those two together, then we get that 86x equals 258. And from there we see that x is equal to 258 over 86, 3. And put that into 1. 11 times 3 plus y equals 38. So y is 5. Okay, check it back. Check it in the other one. Always check it in the other one. Check it in 2. So then we get 9 times 3 minus 7 times 5 equals -8. Yes. Okay. Now we need to solve quadratics. Quadratics, or a quadratic, is an equation with an x squared in it. So any equation with an x squared in it, we can solve. Okay, it is asking us to factorize. Most of the time you won't get asked to, or you won't get the method given. You won't be asked to do it a specific way, but there are several ways of doing it, and in this case we're going to factorize. So we need to go back to factorizing. Sometimes this is just guess and check. So I'm going to do that. Now I need two numbers that multiply together to give 8. It's not very many of them. 8 and 1, 1 and 8, 4 and 2, 2 and 4. So I'm just going to guess 2 and 4. Now just a quick check. That's 12 plus 2. Yes, that gives me 14, so we're fine. Now what that means, because if a times b equals 0, either a equals 0 or b equals 0, so either 3x plus 2 equals 0 or x plus 4 equals 0. So 3x equals -2, so x equals -2 over 3, or x equals -4. Check them back to make sure it works. The second one, factorizing again, 2x and x. Now this time we have even fewer factors of -5. We could have -5 and 1, 5 and -1, -1 and 5, 1 and -5. I'm going to go with the first one I chose, -5 and 1. Check it. Yes, that gives us -3. So therefore 2x minus 5 equals 0, or x equals -1, x equals 5 over 2, or x equals -1. Oops, that's a 1. Check your answers. Oops. Now the second way of doing things is by completing this square, and what we need to do is kind of factorize it to start with. Let's rewrite it like this, with taking out a common factor of 2, and then we can divide both sides by 2, and then we can put this number onto the right hand side. So then we've got x squared plus 5x equals 3.5. Now, knowing what we know about expanding brackets, if we then add half of this number, half of the 5 squared, to the left hand side, then we get x plus 5 over 2 squared, which is nice. But if we do that to the left hand side, we've got to do it to the right hand side. So 3.5 plus 5 over 2 squared. So now we haven't done anything, we've kept a balance, we've done the same to each side, and the right hand side becomes